So we're at the end of the road here in the Open Division Southern Section Championship in Long Beach tonight. This is Ray Dietz for the championship evening for the Open Division. It's going to be at the Pyramid at Long Beach State University. And tonight we've got Sierra Canyon, traveling group of rock stars, and Mater Dei in the final game. Mater Dei is not flashy. They've got Michael Wong, who a year ago might have put up a few wild shots, but he's been very efficient this year, and in recent games he's not putting up any bad shots. He's playing like a 6'10 guard. He'll be at the University of Pennsylvania next year, and he turned down a number of Division I offers for scholarships. Very good ball player. And then we have Spencer Friedman for Mater Dei. Last week, he didn't get a lot of threes off against the pressure defense of Etiwanda. Of course, Mater Dei did prevail. Tonight, he might get a few more open looks against Sierra Canyon. And Spencer Friedman, a smart kid, very tough ball player. He'll be heading on to Harvard next year. And then Sierra Canyon. We've talked about them all year. Dwayne Washington hit the big shots last week. He's the senior point guard and the leader for Sierra Canyon. He'll be headed to Ohio State next year. Cassius Stanley is a junior, their best athlete. Kenyon Martin Jr., very strong inside player. And Scottie Pippen Jr. Keeps improving each week. And then finally Taryn Frank, the 6'7 sophomore, who's a very promising young player. So it's anyone's game. You really can't predict who's going to win this one. It's more of the flashy individual talent against the steady team that's not making a lot of mistakes in Mater Dei. We're here in Long Beach, the third largest city in Southern California after Los Angeles and San Diego. Next comes Long Beach, over 500,000 people, and the second largest port in the United States. The first largest port being the Los Angeles port, which is called San Pedro. And so these two ports are right next to each other. They compete with each other, and that's part of the beauty of it, is that competition has made each port grow. And it was an ingenious thing where years ago they built the Alameda Corridor, which is inland a little bit. It's where it starts. It's a train line that runs downtown LA and further. So they compete on the water, these two ports. And then the trucks can drive goods and containers to the train, and they share that line. So it was developed in an intelligent way, and that competition, I think, has grown these ports to the biggest in the United States. Also helps to be within proximity to Asia. But the Panama Canal has expanded and widened. So I do expect the Savannah port in Georgia, which is number 5 in the United States right now, for that port to expand. And the Charleston port, which is number 9 right now in the United States, that's going to expand as well. But this is going to continue to be a major port in the United States. When you also look at other ports in the United States, Camden's one that comes to mind. A lot of guys I talk to and deal with, they deal in scrap metal, scrap steel. They tell me that here on the West Coast there's better scrap steel. They do quite a bit of scrap steel out of the Camden port as well. I hear it's not quite the quality, and some of the guys tell me that there's better Asian food here and better quality of scrap steel. But I do have to add that Camden has a very good sushi restaurant that's been there forever. Historical sushi restaurant there in Camden. It's a good place to go as well. Other things that happen here in Long Beach, there is the Molina Health Care Company. They're big in Medicaid. They deal in several states in the United States, throughout the country, and also Scan Health, which is big in Medicare here in Southern California. They're based in Long Beach. I come down professionally for continuing education at SCAN each year in Long Beach, and they do a very good job there. The city of Long Beach, developing along the waterfront, continues. They did a good job with that years ago, and a lot of people live there. There's a lot of restaurants, very nice. The Queen Mary is a good place to visit, and a lot of people hold events down there. If you Google Long Beach $900 million project, you'll see it's almost a city within a city that's being built right now, and there's people from around the country who are coming here to check out how they've done it. They're going to build a new city hall. There will be apartments, shops, restaurants, and it will not be an increase to the taxes here in Long Beach. It's a private-public partnership that is working very well right now, and historically they let the builders kind of not exactly do what they want, but it's a little more flexible here, and so they're able to build here, and you can see it along the coast with a lot of the projects that have gone up already. That's about it from the business perspective. After the game, we're going to talk about our second team, all SoCal Business Report this year, and also we're going to talk a little bit about Brandon Williams, who I think was the best point guard in Southern California this year. He just pulled his commitment from Arizona today, so he's going to open up his recruitment again. Honestly, if he picks the right situation, he could be a one and done next year. It could go either way with him, but he's a very good ball player. And the last thing I do want to mention, historically in Long Beach here, there's a lot of the oil production where they pull the oil out of the ground, offshore as well. If you go to Seal Beach, which is the town below Long Beach, walk the beach there, you get a little black specks on your feet, and that's oil. And so there's always been a lot of oil production here. It's interesting right now with the port activity, and the administration has announced in the last couple of days possibility of a 25% tariff on steel, 10% on aluminum, and that's something that's not in writing yet. Nothing's been signed, but there will be some retaliation from other countries if that goes through. It'll be with automobiles, with cars. It'll be on agriculture from other countries, on the soybeans, the corn, the wheat, that type of thing. So it's an interesting dynamic where I grew up in the Midwest. My grandfather worked at Chrysler, and so I think you see a lot of people in that region maybe influenced to buy American-made cars here on the West Coast, where a lot of cars are brought through the ports. Toyota, Hyundai, Honda, BMW, Mercedes. If tariffs are placed, it's going to impact things quite a bit in this region. So it's going to be interesting over the next year or so. And a lot of that activity is centered here, and it really impacts the whole Southern California region as things are impacted here in Long Beach. So that's all we've got here pre-game, and we'll look forward to this exciting championship game and have a lot to report on after the game.